Hey guys, before we start, don't listen to me, but hear me out. We're all made from different cloth. What worked for my introverted personality might not necessarily work for yours. But if something did work for yours, please let me know in the comments because I'm a person just like you, trying to make this world better for everybody around me. Nothing is ever easy. Saving for a home, buying a home, maintaining and renovating a home is never easy. Let me explain. Let's go inside. Today is 25 below here. Man, it is so much warmer inside, so let's get started. Many people might consider me lucky for buying my first apartment at the age of 25. But there's a great quote out there: luck is something that happens when a preparation means opportunity. Saving for the down payment as a first time home buyer these days seems like impossible task. So I wanted to share my personal experience, what I did, what worked for me, and I'm gonna let you know right away there is no shortcuts, no magic pill. It is just a lot of work and sacrifice behind the scenes. I'm gonna break it down into five different categories. Number one is relationships. Who you surround yourself with matters. Man, this was a tough one for me, but I realized that sometimes people that are closest to you are the people that are holding you back. I ended my long term relationship because our financial goals and lifestyles were moving in a completely different directions. I was working lots of overtime, not doing any unnecessary purchases, focusing on paying back my student loan. However, my girlfriend was enjoying her excessive shopping, outings with friends, and minimum payments. Nothing wrong with that, but our goals were just simply not aligned anymore. I also took a step back from the friendships that were not helping me to grow and move forward. The types of people who are maxing out their credit cards to look flashy, living paycheck to paycheck like there is no tomorrow. Instead, I start spending more time with like minded people, listening to their stories and learning from their experience. Number two, employment. The power of hard work pays off. One of the hardest and most impactful choices I've made was working weekends. At first, it was a seniority thing. I was new, I had no choice, so I took the shifts that were available. Later on, I kept working weekends for many years, but over time, I realized many benefits. For starters, I could not afford to be tired and hangover, so I saved my party weekends to the special occasions. I wasn't spending money on drinks, bars, or restaurants. I wasn't waking up with the headache regretting the night before. Instead, I saved my fun weekends for the special occasions like concerts, hockey games, and raves. Having the weekends off also turned out to be a goldmine. Overtime was almost always available, so I took every shift that I could. Working on the different roles in the company made me more valuable, which led to better positions and higher pay. I understand that not everybody has an access to overtime, but helping around the house for somebody, pet sitting or babysitting, is widely available and actually can be paid in cash. Number three, living situation. Moving back home and why it was worth it. A few months later, after my breakup, I called my dad and I asked him if I could move in back in with him. Since I was rarely home due to my work and my activities, it didn't really make sense for me to keep the place of my own. This saved me a half of the rent while I was also helping my dad. No, I was still paying my rent and groceries because I'm an adult and my dad was not some sort of rich sugar daddy. Later on, even my new girlfriend chose to live with us over staying with her roommates. I had a clear, solid goal. Living with my dad did not affect my dating life whatsoever. If moving home is not an option, simply renting a room or living with roommates should definitely be on the table. Remember, this all just temporary. Number 4. Expenses. Cutting back without feeling deprived. Keeping my expenses low was a game changer. Working the weekends naturally helped. I wasn't out partying all Friday and Saturday night, so I wasn't burning through cash like a lot of people my age. Even when I did go out, I rarely drank and usually called it a night by midnight. Since my days off were during the week, my favorite activities like mountain biking, snowboarding, hiking, going to the gym, just about anything out there was cheaper and less crowded. Like most people in their 20s, I wanted to look good, but instead of shopping in the trendy stores for fancy clothes, I went to discount retailers like Outlets, Nordstrom Rack, Winners. For my fellow Canadians, they will understand. And the Boxing Day has become my day to shop for the rest of the year. I also embraced my minimalist style. I kept my dress code simple, with black and white t-shirts, classic jeans, basically my own version of wearing a suit. Nobody ever questioned why I wore similar outfits every day, and honestly, it made my life so much simpler because that was just the less choices I had to make throughout the day. That said, I never have completely deprived myself. I still bought new things, but before buying it, whether it was a new phone, computer, or a trip, I always ask myself, is this something that will bring me closer to my goal, or this is just something impulsive that I'm gonna buy to make myself feel good for that moment? Yes, I still traveled. I took a road trips, camping, I explored different places using my points to fly, stayed at the hostels, ate at the local mom and pop spots instead of being in overpriced tourist traps. One of the biggest financial traps I avoided was buying new or fancy car. It is absolutely insane to me how some people these days have $1,000 car payment, and that's not even including insurance or gas. And trust me, as a car guy, I love cars. It was very tough. Cars are freedom, status, and obviously it's a lot of fun. So I found a workaround. I bought a salvage title car. I picked up a 15-year-old Accord with some suspension damage for a few grand, fixed it up, and made it look so good with some tuning, and drove that thing way past 200,000 kilometers. To this day, I still buy and drive rebuilt cars. The best part? No car payments. Number 5. Investments. Making my money work for me. Saving money and letting it sit in a bank account is a bad idea. Luckily, in Canada, we can withdraw from registered retirement savings plan without the penalty when buying the first home. For 3 years, every single little dollar that I saved went straight into my RSP account. It also lowered my taxable income, and I got a tax refund at the end of the year, which is about 25 to 35% of whatever sum I contributed. I didn't stop there. I also invested my RSP into mutual funds and promising companies, which were earning me a solid 10 to 20% annual return. Did you know if you had bought an Apple stock instead of buying a new iPhone every Apple event since 2007, you would have converted $17,000 to a $367 million? Let this sink in for a moment. My final thoughts. At the end of the day, there is no secret trick to saving for the first apartment. It was all about the discipline, smart financial choices, and clear goals. If you are trying to do the same, my advice: start by evaluating your relationships, your job, your living situation, manage your expenses and investments. Small changes add up over time, and before you know it, you will be way closer to your goal than you ever thought is possible.